Hi, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Broadcast, where we give you bite-sized bits of best practices to help you be a better leader and a more effective communicator. I'm your host, Gerard Braud. Earlier this week, our discussion question was this: what is the best way to get in touch with a busy reporter? Very interesting observations that you provided on social media and Twitter and LinkedIn and other places this week, of course on this YouTube channel. Reed said that in his market, where he lives, the best way to reach a journalist, at least without being intrusive, is to use Twitter, and he emphasizes the power of those 140 characters. On the other hand, Brian says that he always likes to work on building a long-term relationship in advance so that when a reporter sees your call or your text, they are more likely to return your call or respond to your text. And of course, that's why the phrase media relations is there. It's always about those relationships. And Gerard says that he likes to make sure he always consistently gives a reporter a reason to get back in touch with you. In other words, long-term relationships that are built around providing them real news and not what I would affectionately call PR BS. Here are some of my own observations. I am always astounded about Twitter. I'm not sure why reporters migrated and navigated and adopted Twitter as their way of communicating, but it is where you will find reporters, especially those that you don't have a relationship, especially when you're reaching out to a reporter for the very first time. Now, to the point that Reed made a few minutes ago about the relationships, it really varies by industry and it really varies by town. If you're in an industry where a reporter has a beat and they always cover, for example, if you're in retail, they always cover retail, or if you're in medicine and they always cover medicine or pharmaceutical, then it's easier to build those relationships. But in television markets especially, it's very transient. Reporters come and go, and it's very hard to build long-term relationships. I will say this: many corporations ask me on a regular basis, should we have a Twitter account? And the answer is yes, specifically for reaching out to reporters. On a normal day, many people aren't interested in what you tweet, but the day that you need to build a relationship with a reporter, Twitter might get you there. But again, it also requires you to pre-establish relationships and list and correspondence with reporters. If you see a reporter do something good, send them a tweet and compliment them on that. I will say this about Facebook: it's not very effective to pitch a story if you are a corporation or a professional entity. However, I have seen citizens get through to reporters very effectively when they want to complain about something that they want a reporter to do a story about. Thank you all for your observations this week here on the YouTube channel, on LinkedIn, and on Facebook. We always appreciate you sharing with your colleagues, because that's what the broadcast is all about. You sharing your best practices with your professional colleagues so they can compare how they function, maybe adopt your best ideas, or share their best ideas for you. Either way, thanks for being a part of the broadcast. For the broadcast, I'm Gerard Braud. We'll see you next week.